Good morning, everybody. How are we all? Let's just check my chat is working today. Hi, everyone. Good, happy Friday morning. How are things? I'm going to give everyone a little moment just to come and join me whilst we are here and just see how we're all getting on. And then I can, of course, share my lovely project for today. We will be doing some chainmail this morning. So, again, add a little bit of sparkling into this very grey, very wintry day today. I don't know about everybody else, but I think there's another storm coming. Is there another? They're naming another storm. Good morning, Rachel. Rachel says, good morning from a very windy Barrow. It's really windy. My bins have been blown over in the garden. If you keep, well, you may or may not hear, but my letterbox keeps going where the wind is just like pushing it, so it's like it sounds like someone's knocking on the doors, but it's not. It's just the wind. It's really not very nice, and I'll be honest, I am much happier to be here than outside in that. Sorry, I just saw a message. So good morning, Carol, and good morning, Anastasia. Hi, all, no Facebook again. Are you sure? Because I can see that it says that we're streaming to Facebook, and we have had the little message that comes up when we go to Facebook. So I'll have a little look in a moment, but I do think we have got Facebook. Let me have a little look, see what's going on. But yes, so let's just see quickly. Facebook. To be fair, there are some Facebook people here. Oh, morning, Anastasia. Peace and love to. Oh, you were on the other one. Good morning, Camille. Good morning, Laura. Had such a windy night last night, but blue skies now. Well, the winds have come to us now. Yeah, Camille's on Facebook. Good morning, Mina. How are things? And Anastasia sending lots of love and light to her, peace and love to everyone, which is lovely. Yeah, it's super windy, but actually, see that sun. So it's very strange weather at the moment, isn't it? Lots of I am live on Facebook. Thank you, Mina. I was panicking for one moment, but that's good. I figured I would be. Let's just see what's happening. Carol causing chaos on the Friday morning. I can't cope with the stress. Good morning to Jan. Good morning, Laura, and everyone from a damp but bright Sudbury. Mina, it's windy in Leicester today. It's so windy. As I said, I literally went out and did the school run this morning, and by the time I got back, the bins that are in the black bin and the green bin. Over on the floor. Good morning, Lisa. How are you? Okay, so let's have a little look at our project for today. I am just opening some jump rings whilst I have been talking to you, in case you're like, why did she keep looking down? It's because I'm just opening some jump rings. Good morning to Texas Gina. I love that. Good morning. So yeah, we're just on a quick Weber check, see how everybody's doing. And I'm going to show you the project that we have for today. I'll show you the piece first, and then of course I'll take you to the website to see how you can get your hands on the kit. So, Rachel says, my shopping delivery was cancelled by Morrison for today as it's too windy for safety. It's coming tomorrow. Wow. It is windy. I get that. I mean, I got literally from the car to the house and I was like, oofed. So yeah, it's better safe than sorry, I guess. So the necklace that we are making today is this beautiful, lovely statement star neck piece that we have here. But the cool thing about this is it's actually a 3-in-1, or at least a 2-in-1. So what you'll see here is we have I will show it up close in a moment, just showing you it in situ. But you can see that we have our lovely heart sparkly locket here, or it's not a locket, sorry, it is a pendant. And it is on a graduated Byzantine chain with some snowflake gemstones on the back. So I will show you this up close, but I'm going to show you why it's cool. So what I'm going to do is get my other camera added. And the reason it is cool is because these pendants are removable. Let me just change that. I don't want that to come on. So you can remove them because they have a clasp for you to open and close them. So you can remove the pendant, and then this is where it becomes multifunctional. You can just have a lovely graduated Byzantine neckline, or you can get the alternative round sparkly, open up the catch, pop it onto the middle, and switch your look. So this is the project that we have today. I really love this project. I did when I went to visit their warehouse and I saw these. I was just like, this is so cool. I have to do something with this. So this is what we have. So let's lay this down for you to look. Good morning. Good morning to Sheila. Good morning to Joanne. Joanne says, good morning, Laura. That heart pendant is gorgeous. It really is. And Valentine's Day. Can I believe I'm saying this? But Valentine's Day is like literally a couple of weeks. It's crazy. I'm going to bring the camera over. Excuse the wiry mess here. It's because it was hanging down. And show you exactly what we have. Let me just get it to sit a little bit better. And show you what we have. So the piece itself, as you can see, is a graduated Byzantine necklace. So we graduate with our sort of recognized size jump ring of 6mm outer, 4mm inner. And then we just do a couple of links in this size, and then we switch it up a little bit and we go up to the next size, and then the next size, and then a lovely Mobius center section, and then we reverse it on the opposite side. Finished off by these beautiful snowflake gemstones. Come on, camera. It likes the chainmail. Little 4mm beads. Perfect finish for the necklace. And then we have the showstopper for me. Look at these two. Are they not just beautiful? Now you will be able to choose whether you want the heart or whether you want the round pendant, but they have like this lovely sort of hinge that you're able to just open out really easily and then just pop it. So this is where it becomes that 3-in-1 or 2-in-1. So you can have your neckline just like this if you want that slightly less, you know, that maybe slightly more subtle look, or you just don't fancy having that sparkle. Got a lovely versatile chain, and then of course you just open, pop this straight into the middle and close. And now you have your, then you've got that lovely statement heart necklace. Or if you think, actually, no, I want the circle, the round pendant, open this one up here, and we just pop that straight through. And there you have look 3. How easy is that? So those are our pieces. So let's go ahead, hop over to the website so we can see exactly how we're going to make these. So let me take you over to the website. So let's find the website first. Totally Bead. So as always, we are going to go over to totallybeads.co.uk. Over to the homepage. There she is. And then we're going to just scroll down, and you'll see here we've got video tutorials, and then obviously we've got recent video tutorials here. So we're going to go, there's 2 options for video tutorials, both will work. So let's go over to this one, and let's have a little look. And here you'll see that lovely Byzantine necklace with a pendant. Okay. You will get the recording, of course, up on to YouTube, which is what we're recording now. And then you have your 2 options. Now, they are currently on sale from £14.99 to £13.50. Let's get a little look at what you get with these. Mina says she loves both pendants. So did I. Mina, I absolutely love them. Very spoiled. Love these. And again, so versatile. I love the fact that you can swap them over. So with this, you will get your snowflake gemstone beads, your toggle clasp Tigertail wire crimp beads. That is, of course, for the beaded section at the top. And then you will get your jump rings in size. Now, this is the outer millimeter sizes. So 6mm, 7mm, 8mm, and 9mm, which if you were going for the inner diameter is your 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you have the chance, as I said, to then make it interchangeable, and you can just switch that around. You can choose whether you want to go for the heart pendant, this beautiful statement. Of course, you do get the heart. It doesn't list it in the does it list it here? It doesn't list it in the oh, it does. There you go, crystal pendant. So you have that heart crystal pendant, and it's a solid pendant. And then, of course, you have the circle version as well. So have a little look. You've got the crystal pendant here. You've got that circle version, and so you'll see. So you'll see, I'm going to show you these pendants up close, but on offer at the moment, £13.50 instead of £14.99. You get a lot in this kit. You have a 2-for-1 look, of course, so you could have this as it's a great unique selling point if you were to sell or gift this. You know, it's not just a one-off pendant, or of course if you felt like getting the pendants, you could give people the option to choose a pendant and add it to the neckline, and just have the chainmail necklace on its own. You know, but for me, I just think it's a really lovely great piece if you're going away for a weekend. So yeah, £13.50. So definitely make sure you check that out. Okay, so let me just show you up nice and close exactly the size of these pendants. They are lovely statement pieces. That sparkle, that detail, really lovely, and that hinge is just so useful for this design. So let's go ahead and start doing the demonstration. So Anastasia says, Laura, I was waiting for this tutorial. Now my cart is at $100, so it'll be going to my friend's house instead of mine. I love that. Yeah, but you know, it's all good. It's creativity. It's good for us. It's January, you know. So Christine says, good morning all. Blowing a hoolie here. Blowing a hoolie here in Darlington. I take it that you've got the winds as well. The winds, that sounded a bit dodgy, didn't it? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and talk us through this piece. Oh, I did forget to mention as well that you will be getting a PDF with this. So there is a PDF tutorial just how to do this Byzantine and how to create this piece. So there is also a PDF included with this for £13.50. So a great deal. So let's go ahead and get started. Yeah, you get a toggle clasp, tiger tail, and your crimps, along with your snowflake gemstones and your jump rings and your pendant, of which you can choose which version you want. So I think that's a great, well, it's a great start to the year, isn't it? Let's go ahead and have a little look then. So I'm not going to show you how we do the beaded section. You know, we just add the beads to length with some crimps and, of course, your clasps. And then I'm going to just go ahead and we just want to prepare. So each Byzantine link has 14 jump rings. So if you want to be preparing and be sort of like, you know, specific, you can, of course, prep to make sure that you have the exact amount. So I would say when it comes to prepping it with the amount that you would need open and close, I'd probably say about sort of, I would edge towards about 50-50, really. Just have a nice little pile of open and a nice little pile of closed. I think you have slightly more closed than you do open. So just making sure we've got some nice jump rings ready to go. What I'm doing, in case you can't see, is I am taking this jump ring and I'm looking at it. Now, this one is only slightly open. So what I'm doing is popping it in with my jump ring opener. I'm just giving it a little wiggle, and now that's aligned. And so what I tend to do if I'm preparing my jump rings, see this one is slightly crossed over. This will happen with your jump rings. It's standard when they are saw cut. So with this one, I would just open that one. And then if you have one that you pick up and it's just slightly unaligned, that I would just close. That's how I kind of sort my jump rings. If I'll look at them as I'm going and I'll think that one's better, that's an easy one to close, that's a better one to open, and I find that just gets it done a little bit quicker for us. So having a nice little pile of each, having those jump rings ready to go before you start is quite beneficial, because it just means that you can then, of course, sit down and, you know, create your piece. So we have these jump rings ready. So we've got the 6mm, the 7mm, the 8mm, and the 9mm. That is the outer diameter of the jump ring. If you wanted to talk sort of chainmail language, you would be looking at 4 inner diameter, 5 inner diameter, 6 inner diameter, 4, 5, 6, and 7 of the inner diameters. Just so you know, if we were going to be talking in sort of what I would class as chainmail language, we refer to an inner diameter. Okay, so I have a little pile of each, and then you would prep it in each size. Oh, have you been poorly, Rachel? Oh no, I hope you're feeling a bit better now. There are so many bugs going around at the moment. My son Jackson was out sick for, well, he came downstairs on Sunday night and said, just a warning, Mum, I've got a headache. And then he came down on a Monday morning. He had a temperature, his eyes were hurting, he couldn't get up. And yeah, I mean, he's fine now, actually, which is quite scary how fine he is, considering 2 days ago he was asleep all day with painful eyes and everything else. But, you know, it's kids, isn't it? They're very versatile. So yeah, sorry to hear that you're poorly, and hopefully you'll be feeling a little bit better soon. Okay, so having those jump rings ready, it's just going to be really helpful. And when you do the Byzantine, one thing to consider is Byzantine can be done in any size jump ring, but traditionally and standardly it is done in the 6mm, the smaller size. And this is just to do with stability of it. Oops, sorry, hit the camera then. Oh, you had a bad cold and chest infection. Oh, Rachel, speedy recovery. I hope you feel better soon. Lots of rest. Time for, you know, just take it easy and don't rush back into things. So you'll see here that the smaller ones are a little bit more solid. You know, they are the sort of, I don't want to say correct size, but the recognized size jump ring to do this weave with. And then as you go down, you can see, but because you've got this locked into a tension, there are jump rings either side. These jump rings cannot flip over and lose their pattern, so they will hold. And the same goes again when you go that little bit larger. So you'll see that if you were to, so if this wasn't set with the tension of the jump rings either side and was just maybe say an earring link, there's the risk that that could happen and that it could flip over. But because you have that tension, it will hold its shape, and that is why you have that sort of you know, the advised sizes that are used for chainmail weaves, and that's why I would, this is fine in a set sort of tensioned weave like this, but if it was just going to be say an earring where you wanted that Byzantine link, it would risk flipping over and you would end up potentially losing that shape. So that's why we do standardly do it in the smaller size, but you know, it just doesn't have to be there. There's always wiggle room. Right, so prepping your jump rings, having them all ready to go in their little piles, and then we will just go ahead and get them started in our weave. So having your closed, having your open, we will be doing 2 links in each size. So 2 Byzantine links in each side. So a Byzantine link is standardly made up of 2 knots. I call them knots, but they're 2 sections either side, and then you'll have those jump rings in the middle. I always think of a couple of little tricks when I'm doing Byzantine. Byzantine, if you think of by, it means 2, so no solo jump rings in this pattern. And there's also like the rule of 6. So 6 jump rings, so 3 sets of 2 will make one of these knots. That's my kind of rule. Okay. Okie dokie. So let's have a little look at how we're going to get started with this. So I'm going to start with the smaller jump rings first. Okay. Just my little pile of jump rings over here, because we know how my camera can be a little bit fussy. Now, when it comes to pliers or tools that you would need for this, you can, of course, just use your standard chain nose pliers. My brain went very empty then. Chain nose pliers and even flat nose pliers. So you could use 2 pairs of chain nose pliers, 2 pairs of chain nose pliers, or a pair of chain nose and a pair of flat nose. I do tend to use the Xeron ones because I find I have a bit more control with them, and they're a little bit finer. So this is kind of my preference, but you don't have to have the fancy tools. You can just use chain nose pliers, flat nose pliers, just as long as you have flat pliers, not round nose. Okay, so I'm going to start off by picking up an open jump ring. I'm just starting with the smallest size, which is your 6mm. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I've put 4 closed jump rings onto that 1 open jump ring. And then there we go. And I'm going to close it. And I want to double this jump ring up because we don't have any single jump rings. So I'm holding that in my hand. I'm just going to take another open jump ring and go through all 4 to collect that. And I love this bit. It's like a little magic trick because you hold it out and you have yourself a 2, 4, 6. There you have your first part. Remember what I said? 1/2 of the knot gets you a 1/2 of the knot gets you a 1/2 of a Byzantine. I'm just taking a larger aluminium ring just to put this on so that I can have a handle. Now what I want to do, so I'm going to just bring this camera down, hopefully this will work. If you think of it as 1, 2, and 3, the top pair, the third pair, needs to drop down. So if I hold it in my hand and open them out and let them drop down, and then I kind of just reposition my hand, and just by doing that, it pushes the 2 that have dropped down up, and you can see how it's almost doing it for me. It's already starting to open these jump rings here. I often refer to this as looking for it always makes me think of a little rainbow. I'm just going to get a pin to show you. Open them out. And I always think of it as like a little rainbow. You can just see that little arch there. It just makes me think of a little rainbow. And we are going to put our next jump ring straight through that rainbow. When I let that go, you'll see it's already got that knot. And if you want to test it to make sure it's right before you put your jump ring in, grab a piece of wire or a pin. This is a T-pin, and just pop that through. And that tension on its own will keep it there. And you just pop your jump ring straight through. And close. I'm holding it still because it's just easier to, when I come back to it, to add my next jump ring. Remember, we double up, no solo jump rings, so everything is done in 2s. And this is the first half of Byzantine link. So rule of 6. So far rule of 6 means that I have got pair 1 already. I've just added pair 1. Okay, so now I need to add another 4 jump rings. So to do that, I'm going to pick up an open jump ring and collect those 2 that we just added. Before I close it, I'm going to grab 2 of the closed, 1 and 2, and close that jump ring. So when you open that out, you'll see you've got 1 jump ring with 2 attached. Remember in our rule that we don't have any solo jump rings. We take another open jump ring, pop it through the 2 and 2 to double up. So I drop it down. You have another set of 3 pairs of jump rings, 2, 4 and 6, and there is our rule of 6. So we can now repeat the same process. So holding this in your hand, those top 2 jump rings, open them out. You can use a pin or a piece of wire if you want to just let them drop, and then reposition your thumb and finger just to give them a little push up and open out those 2 jump rings there, and there's that rainbow. And we repeat. So add a jump ring and close. Add a jump ring. Oops, make sure it just goes next to it. Don't Mobius it. And close. And that is actually 1 complete Byzantine. Okay, so that is 1 complete Byzantine link. You could use this to make earrings, pop a shepherd hook and a drop on. That is your 1 Byzantine link. Just making sure that you still see me because I just had a little message. There's paperwork to follow with this. There is a PDF included, but honestly, it's not as complex as it seems. I'm going to do it again. Jump rings. Rule of 6. So I'm going to take an open jump ring, 1 and 2. So what we're doing now is making the 2 and but basically a 2 and 2 chain. Double it up. And there you have 2, 4, 6 jump rings. Hold it up. Those top 2 jump rings, we'll open it out. So they open out. Use a pin if you want, or some pliers, or a piece of wire even. Those 2 jump rings drop down. Use your fingers and they'll push. And then the 2 jump rings that are now at the top open out. And there's that little arch, that little rainbow just there. And that's the gap that we're going to put the next jump ring through. Take a jump ring, bring it through. Add your jump ring and close. Put it in your hand. Bring it through and close. So that's 1 pair of jump rings attached. So you've got 1 pair, so we need to now add another 4 jump rings. So I'm going to put a closed jump ring, an open jump ring, sorry, onto those last 2. I'm going to take another 2 closed jump rings and drop them on. And close. and I need to double up this jump ring in the middle. So I'll take another open jump ring and just go through the 2 pairs of jump rings to double everything up and close. And then when you open that out, you have 2, 4 and 6, and then you hold that in your hand, drop those 2 out and down, give it a little wiggle, and there's that little arch. Take a new jump ring. Now we're going to complete this with the same size. The next one will be moving up a size, so we're going to complete this link with the current size. There we go. And there is 2 Byzantine links. Okay, we're going to repeat, but all we're going to do is change our size. So we've already got pair 1. It doesn't matter that we're going to switch up a size. I'm going to take the next size up, which is going to be 7s, and I'm going to put 1 through and collect 2 closed and double up. So through the 2 pairs, 1 and 2. So all we've done is just started to go up to the next size. Hold it upside down, drop it, so they drop down, push them so they go up. Now as they go larger in the size of the jump rings, you might need to just hold it a little bit more steady. Take your next jump ring and straight through, and that will lock for you. All right, and close. I'm going to take another jump ring and double up. So effectively we're going to do that 4 times in each size. So that's first time. I'm going to take my jump ring and go through. So I've already got pair 1 on there, so I want to add 2 closed, double it up. Okay, just double them all up. So just things to be aware of, as I said, when you get a bit larger, it just becomes a little less stable. So maybe have a get comfortable with doing it in that smaller size, and then come into this design. Drop them down, give it a wiggle. There's that rainbow. Pop your jump ring straight through to collect it. Go 1, and then notice when I'm picking up my next jump ring, notice how I'm holding it stable in my hand, and then I can just go through nice, oopsie, nice and easily with that second jump ring. There we go, and close, and dropping it down. So now we've got 1 and 2. Okay. Hi Cash Haywood. Hello and happy new year to everyone. Super excited because I've made it to my second live stream. Well, it's lovely to see you. Okay, so there's pair number 1. I'm going to take another open jump ring. I'm going to add on 1 and 2, and you can see here why it is important to have those jump rings ready, especially when you do get to these larger sizes, just because it makes life a lot easier than I just made for myself because I didn't have it ready. Okay, so there we go. So straight through and collect through and collect. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Hold it upside down. Open them out. Use your pliers if you want to drop them down. Give it a wiggle up and open it out. Okay. Pop on your next jump ring and close. And pop on your next jump ring and close. And then we've got one more that we want to do in that size, which I'm just going to open those jump rings because I didn't have them open. Bad, Laura. Okay, so I need 4 more open, so let's go quickly. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so I've got my 2, so I'm adding my open jump ring, adding on 2 closed. Okay, dropping that down, double that up. Okay. Janice, I don't think I have the patience for this. Honestly, it's very calming. So all you're doing is just adding this. You're just basically doing a Byzantine weave. What you're doing is just switching them open, switching the sizes as you go along. So going across. So we've got in our knots, we've got 1 more to do. So we're going to add 2 closed. Drop it down. Oh, I didn't add all my 2 closed because I read the messages I got out. I threw out myself out of my my pattern. So basically you are effectively doing 3 and 3, and then you fold it over to make a Byzantine link. So I'm just making this a 3 and 3 because I got distracted. So I've got 1 more jump ring to add. Okay, so then you go up to your next size again. So we're just going to lock this in. With our 2 jump rings. And again, just remember, I mean, this is just, I think it's a very lovely, a lovely chain to graduate down. Open it up, turn it around, add your next one. Just remember as well that I am doing this slowly to show you. So there you have already got more or less your whole chain. So what we do is, in fact, I've got a half of one that I've already made, so you can see. So we then have just literally the next size up. So let's very quickly do the next size up, and then we can just see how we can put it all together and make that finish. And what I'll do is I will just make this as if I wasn't showing you on camera, so you can see actually once you get into that pattern of doing this, it is really easy. You just can sit down, not think about it. It's a great sort of, I love the Byzantine, and it is a really great base. Sorry, someone's ringing my landline, but it won't be anyone we know. So yeah, it's a really great base weave, and you'll be surprised at how much the weave actually is used. Sorry, I got completely thrown in because my landline went. And all it is cold callers, because no one knows landlines anymore, do they? Yeah, it's a really great base for a lot of other weaves as well. You've got the Romanoff, you've got the Olivia, you've got the Busy Bees, the butterflies. There are so many weaves that this actually crosses into. So it's a great one to practice. Mina says, I made a few Byzantine bracelets in Christmas holiday, but I need to finish them soon. Oh, Joanne says she loves the Byzantine weave. It's a great weave, isn't it, Joanne? It's just, I'm going to show you now these last two links just without sort of, you know, just how easy it is to pick them up and create. And actually, it's a really surprisingly quick weave as well. The only thing it is quite a, it uses a lot of jump rings. If you are obviously making a bracelet in that smaller size, you probably need about just under 200 of your jump rings for that. But it's a great unisex piece of jewelry as well. I made a bare copper Byzantine bracelet for my husband, which is great as well. So, you know, it has got, I think it's a very great universal weave to get, you know, to get familiar with. So let's just have a little chat amongst ourselves whilst I just finish this off. Now, I'm going to just tell you that this can happen because you're using that large size. So you pick it up and you go, well, what's happened here? Do you remember I showed you on the other piece? It's a tension piece. So it just means that those jump rings are flipped. You just take your time and it will come back. As soon as you set your next pair of jump rings, it will link in and it will link in and it will be held by tension. So it's absolutely fine. Okay. So just reading some messages. Humid, but I'll take it very as long as the trade winds are active going, it can actually be quite cool. Anastasia, is it snowing where you are? Is it snowing, Anastasia? Because if you tell me you have snow, I'm going to be like, what? We had no snow. We had barely any snow. We had a flutter. I was happy about the flutter, but that's all we had. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this while you all have a little chat amongst yourselves just to show you actually, you know, it is a quick and easy piece to create. Just don't overthink it. Remember your rules of 6. And I'll explain also why I do the rule of 6, because there's another very similar weave which is called the box weave. And the box weave is effectively the Byzantine, but without that extra pair of jump rings in the middle. Uses a lot more jump rings in that pattern, but it effectively, if you forget to add that extra pair of jump rings, you do the box weave. And so I always try to think, if you think of rule of 6, you're going to get that knot. If you think it, but the rule of 4 gets you the box weave. Mina says when she does her Byzantine, she counts her rings in piles, so it's easy. Yeah, 100%. That's all it is. Rule of 6. Is there 6 jump rings there? Perfect. And I can fold over and add my next one. And also, if you think for each knot, the section, the jump ring that I'm adding now, that's secure in that section, could be a wrapped loop. It could be a coloured ring. It could be a Mobius. It could be anything, because this is the center section. This is the ring that is visible that I'm adding right now. So you can actually have great fun with this. Just to note, as you are going into those larger sizes, to just be careful, not be careful, but just take that bit more time to make sure it is stable and staying in its place just while you're building that chain, just because, as I've already mentioned, it can flip. It's just a little less stable. And people often think, oh, I don't want to do that weave because it's in the tiny jump rings and it's going to be really difficult. But it's actually, if it's the right size jump rings for that weave, it actually makes it easier because it becomes more stable and easier to do. So let's just do this last little one. Where am I now? And you can tell a weave as well, because if you turn it to you, you've got 1, 2, and you can see here that I've got a half of a knot, so I've got one more to do. So I'm just going to add one more and bring that across. So what I'm doing is holding the actual previous knot, because that just keeps it nice and steady for me. So when I'm dropping it like this, I'm holding this little section here so that I can see exactly what I'm doing. Find a way that works for you. That's the kind of way I think of it. You know, everyone does things differently. You might want to add 2, 2, and 2 rather than adding 2 jump rings, then one with 2 on and doubling up. Ultimately, you're adding a 2, 4, 6, a 2 and 2 chain. So that's just the best way to think of it. Drop that over, wiggle it up, open that out. There's the rainbow. Jump ring through. So I think I should be at the length now where I'm ready to add my Mobius. Yes, because here's one I made earlier. I made it not too long actually. Anyway, so to make the Mobius, we've done Mobiuses before, but we're going to use our larger jump rings to make the Mobius. So we should have our 7 mils because we've only gone up in 3 sizes. So the 7 mils, or the 9 mils, sorry, the larger jump rings are actually there to create that Mobius for you. So we're going to get a pile of those 7 mils. I haven't sorted my jump rings very well. However many you want to do is up to you, but I'm going to go open 1 jump ring and add your next one and lay it down so it creates that little sort of infinity. Take your next jump ring and just go through both those jump rings. And close. And then place that down. And the key with a Mobius is, can you see how that's looking not quite rounded? It's just looking a little bit triangular. All you need to do is flip the jump ring you just added over, and that sits perfectly. So even if this is super easy, it can get you know, if you don't lay that jump ring down the right way, it does sit in a funny direction. So these is up to you, however many you want to do. Again, just flip that jump ring over if it's not sitting right, and that is going to go in the middle. Okay, but you can build this up however many you want, and then add that to those last 2 jump rings. So if I look at this, I feel like I haven't got this quite the right size. I'm going to reduce this down. I think I've done 1 knot too many. I'm going to take that last knot off. So what you then do, just to finish this off, nice and easy, do not use your fingers to do what I just did. That was naughty. You should always use your pliers to open jump rings. I think I had 1 link too many just because I already had a pre-made piece. But your last 2 jump rings, that you have on your section, you can simply open up and add to that Mobius. So take that jump ring and add it directly to your Mobius. So I actually liked doing this with 2 halves of a chain and connecting it. I found it easier to graduate it from the smaller to the large rather than going adding that Mobius and then building it back out. But again, that is of course up to you. Remove your handle. There you have your chain section. That was one I made earlier. And then of course simply take your chosen focal, pop it into that middle, and there is your necklace ready to go. When it comes to adding this, we're simply going to take some beading thread, create a little loop when she focuses. Come on, I feel like you're gonna do it. Come on. But you take a little loop, pop on a crimp, and then add on your beads. And again, the amount of beads that you add on is of course up to you to however long you want your necklace to be. If you want it to be more longer style or choker style necklace, you do get a whole strand of these snowflake gemstones, and then you actually do get a toggle clasp. I use the lobster clasp. That is your finished piece, and there you have your sort of 3-in-1. You know, if you get both of these pendants, you will get one with your kit. You get your jump rings in all the different sizes. You get your crimps, Tigertail, lobster, toggle clasp, your snowflake gemstones. And so what an amazing kit. £13.50 at the moment. Oh, and you do get a PDF as well, just to show you how to do this Byzantine and to talk the design through with you. But yes, I think that's pretty much it. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let's just have a quick look at some of the messages. I love any helm variants. My favourite being Handfest weave. Oh, nice. Not to mention that it's not nearly as ring hungry as Byzantine. It really is ring hungry, isn't it? But the box weave is even more ring hungry. So I do understand what you're saying. So yeah, lots of love. Everyone's having I purchased a lot of the hematite beads and shell pearl, mother of pearl, different shape and color, and gemstone chips. Oh, it sounds like you've got a great stash, Anastasia. Oh, amazing. Okay, well, look, I hope you've enjoyed it. I really love this design. I think it's such a lovely, cool, universal design. I think any age can kind of wear it. You can dress it up, dress it down. It's a great multifunctional design as well, especially, you know, if you were going away for the weekend or something and you just wanted that one piece of jewelry that you could change up. I just think it's a great option for that. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, as I always say, you know, please share me if you do tag me in Totally Beads if you do have a go at making any of this. I'd love to see what everyone comes up with. Hope we all stay safe in this very windy weekend that's coming up. I will be joining you on Monday next week in place of the lovely Natalie. So I will see you then. And for now, have a lovely weekend, everyone. And I will see you all on Monday. Okay.